Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. This is Property Management 101, and today we'll be discussing the best practices for managing your model unit. If you have not already done so, please watch my disclosure video as well as my why I do this video. If you find this video helpful and learn something new, please don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on those notifications. Before I begin, this is going to be a video about good practices about managing your model units, not necessarily about advertising or selling them. That will be for another video. Today we'll be discussing what we need to do to ensure that these units are always ready for a potential prospect. Important topic to cover, as many of you have worked in the industry as long as I have. I'm sure you have at least one memory or two of a tour that you gave where you were showing a unit and it just wasn't 100% up to par where you think it should have been. This has probably made your job a lot harder, and that's why I feel this is a very important topic to ensure that model units and units you're showing are always in tip-top shape. Now let's start with our best practices for managing your model units to ensure they're always ready for showing. Number one, consistently inspect. The model path and the model unit should be inspected consistently to ensure they're ready for showing. This could be the person who's assigned opening and closing the models each day or someone else, but the employee that is assigned this task should be inspecting the model path and the model units for the fall, ensuring it's clean at all times, ensuring that all lights are on at the opening part of the day within the model path as well as within the model. This includes all closets, all appliances, all patios, etc. If there's any lights out, they have to ensure that they're either changing that light bulb or reporting to maintenance to get it changed quickly as possible. You want to ensure the entire model path is in good shape and free of trash. All amenity areas clean. All common area bathrooms are clean on the model path. You want to always consistently determine if this model unit and model path is the right one for the property, and maybe potentially the property could benefit from changing it. Number two, you really want to have a regular routine. This is really important to have some sort of regular routines to ensure your model is consistently ready for showings, as well as everyone's following a consistent path to allow then staff and maintenance and vendors to ensure that they are cleaning and prepping that path the same day. You want to do this for fair housing reasons. You want to make sure that everyone's following the same path to ensure that it's ADA accessible. You want to ensure that your staff has an opening and closing routine. This will ensure that everyone is following the same set of directions. If your property or company collects IDs prior to every tour, you also want to ensure that the ID is being stored in the same place. I would recommend that each year you have a refresher with the entire staff, 1 to 2 times a year at least. I would recommend to ensure that everyone's on the same page when it comes to the routine and opening and closing of the model. You also want to make sure that you're adding opening and closing and the model path to as part of your routine for trainings for new staff. This includes maintenance staff as well. You want to make sure you're determining the routine for what days of the week your grounds or porter are sweeping the patio or balconies as well as the breezeways. You want to determine what days of the week will be best for your maintenance team to inspect to ensure there's no leaks, light bulbs out, etc. in the model. You want to also have a routine for your vendor. How often are they going to clean them? What days of the week are they going to come clean? I'd recommend that this is done right before your busiest time of the week as far as tour. And also each year you want to have a routine and something you budget for to have painters come in, carpet cleaners come in, any other type of vendors that may be needed to ensure your model path and your models are in tip-top. And last but not least, you want to make sure for best practices to ensure your models are ready at all times, you want to hit all their senses and do everything you can to prepare. So what I mean by that is you want to make sure that not only what they're looking at is in good shape, but what they smell, what they taste, what they hear and touch. I know some of you may be saying, well, how do I prep to ensure what they taste is attractive and a good experience, right? And we tend to only focus on what they see, but it's also important you're hitting every one of their senses to ensure they have a positive experience. So for example, as far as what they feel, I always like big fluffy pillows and carpets within the model. So a lot of times that just attracts them to touch them, as well as making sure that countertops are clean. I've seen often where they're sticky because someone maybe had a drink or something and wasn't cleaned up after. You want to make sure there's some sort of background music so that when they're walking the model, it's not this dead awkward silence. And also you want to make sure either within your clubhouse or where you start the tour or within the tour at the models, you offer a refreshing drink. That's a good way to kind of hit some of their taste buds as well. And last but not least, making sure what they're smelling within the model. So there's lots of devices, plugins, different items you can actually add to your model to ensure it has a nice. So as part of your staff's opening and closing the model each day, they should really be focusing on how are we prepping and having a positive impact on all 5 of them. If you like this video and learned something new, please don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on those notifications. Happy leasing!